Films. I love films. For example, we've got Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, Taxi Driver, I like that one, that's a bit violent. Forrest Gump, yeah, they say I look like Forrest Gump. And what I've been trying to do is recreate stories using emojis. Anna, naked. Okay, all right, it wasn't the best out, but it was the best I could do. Okay. Everybody was happy and they lived happily ever after. And ladies and gentlemen, that is the end. Thank you very much. Thank you for choosing Titanic. Thank you so much. My name's Cliff the Magician. Have a good evening. Bye-bye. Thank you. Hi, my name's Cliff the Magician and welcome to Emoticon. This is an effect created by Dacris, Spanish champion of stage magic. It was first released in Spanish about 3 years ago. It's been developed and changed into English. It's a fantastic effect, lots of comedy, lots of fun, lots of audience participation. Let's get started. I know, that was amazing. I amazed myself then, but what you're going to see now is even more incredible. Ooh. I'll tell you, yeah, it is. We're going to do something that never is ever the same. Every evening when I perform this, it's different, okay? Because you guys are going to make some very important choices, in particular you, okay? But don't worry, you don't have to come on stage. You're fine where you are. We're going to talk about films. I love films. I go to the cinema as often as I can. It takes you away, imagination. Love them. So what I've done here, all right, I've written some films that I've been to see recently, or just some of my favourite ones. For example, we've got Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, Taxi Driver, I like that one, that's a bit violent. Forrest Gump, yeah, they say I look like Forrest Gump. Okay, thank you. She's laughing at that one, thank you very much. All right, The Wizard of Oz, Toy Story, Jaws, American Beauty, right, okay. I'd like you to choose one, okay? Yes. But I don't want you to show everybody. I'm just going to mix these up a little bit. You're going to keep it a secret, and then I'm going to explain what we're going to do, and then once I've explained it, you're going to tell me which film you've chosen. Are you ready? Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to spread through the cards. All you have to do is choose one, but as long as it's the card I want, it doesn't... No, I'm not going to do any of them. So those jokes are terrible, aren't they? You get legit, they're awful. They're all, you know, like they go, ooh, chicka, chicka, chicka. No, I'm not going to do that. Okay, just choose one card. Choose one card, whichever card you like. But don't show anybody, particularly not him, all right, behind you. No looky. All right, thank you. All right, the second thing, we're going to use my favorite friends' emojis. Yeah, okay. Now, people use them every day now, text messages, in sending sort of feelings, information. You know, so when you see this, everybody thinks, oh, happy. But sometimes you can interpret them in different ways. So what I've been trying to do is take emojis, using my imagination, create stories. So my challenge tonight is to tell the story of whichever film you've chosen. Okay? Yes. Oh, I'm nervous. I'm just going to mix these up a little bit because it's important, you know, that they're all nicely mixed up. Oh, a film. Yeah, we're going to do a film later. A horse. Okay, that's interesting. Well, we're just going to keep going through. Anyway, we'll start. What's the name of the film you've chosen?
Titanic.
Thank you for laughing. I appreciate that. That's really nice of you. Titanic. Okay. Okay. Right. Okay. We'll start. Titanic. Once upon a time. Thank you. There was a film. I knew that was kind of film. Yeah. A film. A film about a sheep. A sheep. Titanic. It wasn't a sheep. It was a ship. There you go. Oh, yeah. Thank you. All right. Let's see. And of course, this happened a long time ago. It happened in 19. It's getting better. What was it? Okay. Yeah, I think it's going to happen. 1912. Oh, yeah. I'm getting better at this. And of course, this is Rose. Rose, the beautiful star of the story. Oh, and Rose, I don't know if you remember, She was engaged. Yeah, yeah. She was engaged to somebody who was really rich, loads of money, big house, big cars. Well, took her on the Titanic. And he even bought her a horse. And she also had a golf course. Oh, no. The fiancé, he was an ass. Okay. Sorry, I didn't say that. That was you. And of course, that relationship was born to fail. No. It wasn't love. I tell you what, you can actually help me out on this bit. Every time you see a love heart, because it's a love story, remember, we're all going to go, oh. No. Oh. You guys are professionals. I like that. That's very good. So let's go back to the story. Okay. One day, they were on the... One day in the evening, okay, on the Titanic, of course, the other star, the young man, Jack, handsome Jack. He was very handsome. In fact, he was an artist. He was very, very talented at painting. The problem was he wasn't very rich. They were a little bit different, Rose and Jack. Get ready. But they fell in love. They did. It was love at first sight. It was beautiful. It was one of those special things. It really was. And then, if you remember in the film, Rose had an idea. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's the idea. She had an idea. She said, Jack, let's go in the back of this car, and I want you to paint me. I want you to paint my horse. Anna, naked. Okay, all right. It wasn't the best out, but it was the best I could do. Okay. And this was the look of Jack's face when she asked. He was like, oh, can't believe it. I would have smiled, but there you go. That's what. And of course, the boyfriend, thankfully, he knew nothing. He knew nothing about that. By the way, do you realise if you hadn't have chosen Titanic, and you'd chosen Toy Story, this would have been a very different story, all right? So thank goodness you chose Titanic. Anyway, let's go back to the story. Now, Rose and Jack, their love grew. No, more. No, more. Okay, fine, sorry about that. Of course, you know what's going to happen next. There was a big bang because they hit, thank goodness, an iceberg. But do you know what? I hope you don't mind. I'm going to take advantage of the fact that I'm telling this story because it's a sad story. Tonight we don't want to talk about people drowning or dying. So I'm going to use a little bit of imagination to change the story if I can. So they hit an iceberg. And there was a miracle. That's better. Oh, whoa! There was a miracle. And I'll tell you what the miracle was. It was Jack on a surfboard, of course. He flipped the waves. He went straight down. He found the big hole that was making a huge mess. And when he got there, he shoved an aubergine in the hole. And ladies and gentlemen, everybody was happy and they lived happily ever after. And ladies and gentlemen, that is the end. Thank you very much. Thank you for choosing Titanic. Thank you so much. My name's Cliff the Magician. Have a good evening. Bye-bye. Thank you. So, what do you receive with Emoticon? You get the video link. You've obviously found that because you're watching this now. You also receive PDF instructions. This will give you the order of the cards, also the script, and also a list of possible films to use in the effect. You get the Emoticon deck. You also receive a blank-faced bicycle pack of cards, which could be red or blue, and also a Sharpie. The colour depends on availability. Time to prepare the forcing deck. You've got the PDF with the names of different films on. What I've done here is I've written the names of certain films. Here we've got Star Wars, Jaws, Back to the Future, Toy Story. But obviously there's one film you can't forget to include, otherwise the trick won't work. Titanic. So I'm going to write that on here now. Those of you that are proficient with cards can force the top card using your favourite method. Those of you that prefer a simpler, more surefire method, well, we could also use the 26 card force, which basically is writing the film Titanic on the top 26 cards. And away you go. Okay, time to make the climax. We only ever have to do this once. You do need to pay attention to the order of the cards. It's on the PDF, but I'll go through it with you now so you can see exactly how to do it. Here are the order of the cards. The first letter is the D. On the back of the D, we have a heart. Next, the N with a heart. Next, the letter E. On the back of this one, we have a heart. Following card is blank, and on the back of this one, we have Jack. The next card is an E. We have rose. After that, an H with a heart. Here we have a T with another heart, a blank card with one heart, and then finally a happy face. So, making the gimmick or the climax card. We need to take two cards. Here in this case we've got the N and the D. We need to leave approximately 1 millimeter between the two cards. Get some tape and very carefully join the two together. Next we move along, and the next letter is the E. This is the one with the heart on the back. Again, leaving approximately 1 millimeter between. Some tape and you stick them together just like that. Okay, we'll move along. As you're going along, you don't have to worry, you can start to fold the cards if you wish. You don't need such a huge table. Okay, next, here we have the blank card, which is Jack. Take this one again. Approximately 1 millimeter between the two. And stick it together. Very good, like that, okay. Keep going. The next card is the E. On the back of the E, we have rose. Let's try and stick that on there like that. Perfect. Let's move along. Next card. The H. On the back of the H, we have a heart. After the H comes the T. Small gap between them. I'll just move that one out of the way. There we go, there's the T. Next is the blank card with the heart. Once again, a bit of space between. And then finally, the happy face. So, that is the gimmick completely made. I'll show you exactly how it should look. Open it this way so you can see. So here we have the end, and on the inverse, on the other side, we have a happy face, 3 hearts. 3 hearts either side. Right, so we've finished making the climax. You'll find that if you do go over with a little bit of sellotape, you just take a pair of scissors and very, very very carefully, you can remove any excess. It's not a problem. Okay. That's great. Okay. Then to fold the climax, let me show you. We're going to turn it over to the side. Always make sure that the smiley face is facing up, and we're just going to do it in a zigzag like this. You'll find it's really easy due to the way we've done the sellotape. And that's the climax. Right, now we've got to set up the deck. On the PDF, you have the whole list of the order of the cards, but I'm going to go through this for you now. So, how to force Titanic. We've prepared our deck. We should have a whole group of indifferent films, Star Wars, Jaws, Back to the Future. Depending on the force you want to use, you will either have only the top card with Titanic for you to perform your favorite force, or, as we mentioned before, you could have the 26 cards of Titanic on the top, the 26 indifferent films on the bottom. You go through them, showing the different films, turn the deck over, spread the deck, offer them the cards, make sure that they choose one of the cards from the top 26, and it should be Titanic. To make this effect more convincing to the audience, we can mix the cards. This is going to be a false shuffle. We're not really going to mix them. What we're going to do is take a block of cards from the back, and we're just going to let them fall indiscriminately to the front. If you pat them down, sort the position, it really does look as if you're mixing the cards, but all we're doing really is just cutting them. Okay. When you get, for example, to this situation where you have the thick card on the top, all you have to do is simply cut that to the back, and you're ready to go. Let's have a look at the Emoticon deck. First of all, I'm going to look at the handling. To help you with the finale, what we're going to do is take a finger break under that last card. This will help you with a few things. First of all, it means that you can hold the cards quite firmly. You'll have your thumb on the back, your three fingers here. That will mean that you're not going to drop the cards by accident. We start Once Upon a Time. Here, very important, we've just mixed the cards. The spectators have chosen a film at random, so we don't want it to appear as if it's a script. We don't want to be not looking at the card saying, oh, so it was Once Upon a Time, there was a film. That's not going to work. That's not going to convince your audience. So you are going to have to do a bit of acting using a little bit of internal dialogue. So you say, Once Upon a Time. Just before you put the card down, look at the next card. That will help you with the dialogue in itself. But also, reaction, think, which was a film. Be proud of yourself. You've managed to link the two cards together. We move on. About a sheep. A sheep? Titanic? No. You're going to look puzzled. It's like a sheep. A sheep. Have a peek at the next card. Relax. A ship. Dates. Here we've got two cards that need to come together, so it's 19. 12. Visually, it's much more pleasing to have the two cards held together. We're going to talk about Rose. The fact that she's engaged to a handsome man, a wealthy man who showered her with gifts, with houses, with cars, with a horse, and also he played lots of golf. Now, this is where we're going to have the joke. I personally don't say it. I mouth it. Also, depending on the audience, you might not want to use that gag. If that's the case, simply remove the golf and just say that he was a bit of a donkey. Let's move on. The hearts. This is a callback. Throughout the routine, you're going to see lots of hearts. You want the audience, every time they see a heart, to participate, to go, ah. All right. Group brings everybody together, makes the routine more fun. One fine day. Here, you can act as if you're getting a bit cocky. Everything's working out fine. One fine day, you take the next card and you see the moon. It's like, In the evening, all right, small gag. Here we're going to go through. We're going to talk about him being a painter. Call back to the love hearts. Here, she's going to have an idea. And here, we've got the horse. And the baby, where we're going to say, nay, kid. Okay. The look of surprise. The monkey. When I get to this card here, we're talking about the fiancé not knowing what had happened. Here I like to stop and recapitulate a little bit about what's happened. You know, the fact that they've chosen Titanic. If they hadn't have chosen Titanic, well, how could we relate Star Wars to things like sheep and things like that? So again, take that moment, pause, recapitulate exactly what's been happening. We'll carry on. They fell in love, call back for the R. Even more in love, a call back for the R. Now, again, this one, you judge it depending on your audience. The picture itself says it all. If you're not comfortable with it, you remove it. I personally leave it in. Here we go where they hit the iceberg. And here I pause once again. And the story changes a little bit. And this is where we talk about how Titanic's a very sad story, and so if you don't mind, I'm going to use a little bit more imagination and change the ending so it ends a bit in a happier way. So then we move on, and again, here we're going to do it a little bit quicker, all right? It's not so slow, so we're going to say, he caught on a surfboard, he found the hole, he filled it with either an eggplant or an aubergine, and here we get into the climax where we're going to put that card down. They lived happily ever after. You put your hand underneath. We're going to open up the cards. They lived happily ever after, and then we're going to turn them in, and it's the end. So, the final reveal. As we explained earlier on, we're going to put our first finger, we're going to make a break beneath this bottom card. We're going to come across with our hands. We're going to take the smiley face. Remember that the smiley face is actually a double card. We take it from underneath and we open our arms. Now, on the underside, we have the smiley face. So the next movement is as follows. We're going to bring the cards in and fold the smiley face inside. I'll go over that again for you because it is a little bit confusing. Here I am. I have my finger break under the back card. I'm going to come across. I'm going to take the two cards as one. I'm going to open my hands, and then I'm going to bring the wrists in as I fold the smiley face in to reveal the end. So that's Emoticon. Thank you for watching. Thanks for purchasing the effect. Have fun with your audiences with it.